Welcome here to an all-new edition of NeapoliDANS. As you know, we have Dan Villari, myself, Dan Tortora, and NeapoliDANS because we both have that Italian blood that runs through our veins. Always have fun here on the show talking about family, faith, football, and the journey of Dan Villari. I've never seen anything done quite like this with any NFL prospect, and I wanted to make history, and I wanted to do it with somebody that I just felt was the right person for the spotlight, the right person for this opportunity. He obliged me, and here we are in episode 5, which is called Outside Noise Belongs Outside. I've talked about this on the show a lot. Need to take my own advice sometimes, and I'm here with Dan Villari to discuss it. I'm fresh off the college football playoff. He's getting ready for the Senior Bowl. So, Mr. Villari, how are you?
Very good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. And lean back a little bit. I want to see that shirt. So we got the Hula Bowl shirt. And so, I mean, we talked last time about the Hula Bowl, and, there were some people down there in the media that actually talked to me after, and like, we saw Villari, and we really wanted to talk with him and wanted to spend some time with him. And they said, they're like, he killed it. So just so you know, there's been ripple effects to the work that you did out there.
Sweet, man. Glad to hear that.
So outside noise belongs outside. I always say that. It's kind of like one of my quotes is outside noise by definition belongs outside. So leave it there. I'd love to get your thoughts on outside noise and if you've let it affect you ever, or if it's really never been anything you paid attention to.
You know what? I think sometimes I do listen to outside noise and it honestly pisses me off. And when I'm pissed off, I just work like I just do extra. I just operate how I normally operate. So it's like a good fuel to my fire. Um, so I think I definitely see it and I definitely like have a huge chip on my shoulder all the time. And once I make it once I make it to the top, I'm excited to just be like, everybody take back what they said, you know? But I don't get too invested into it. I'm just worried about my routine.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, when you hear it, it pisses you off, and that can fuel you. And I agree with that. And there is something that I've taken that I heard over the past few years, which was don't do it to prove them wrong, do it to prove yourself right. And I mean, I guess you end up proving the naysayers wrong by proving yourself right, but it's about kind of taking the onus off of them and the control and the power off of them and saying, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. In my case, I'm doing it for God. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that of, not achieving something to prove somebody wrong, but achieving something to prove yourself right.
Yeah, absolutely. Just try to prove myself right because I believe in myself. And to be completely honest with you, Dan, the people that know football on a higher level, like they don't really say bad things about me. So like it's mainly the people that don't really have a clue about it. So, I just worry about whatever team I'm on, whoever's in that building, I worry about what they say about me. With the people that really know football and know what it's like to play at an elite level, I listen to what advice they have for me and it's all been great feedback. So, but yeah, that's been the theme my whole life is prove myself right. I've told family members, I've told friends like I'm gonna play in the NFL. And whenever you say that to someone, it like you get like goosebumps a little bit because it's like such a huge dream. Back in the day when I was a kid, it's such a huge like thing to say, such a bold thing to say at that time. Some of my friends, family would probably be like, this kid's a little nuts, like that's tough. But and that would even make me feel like, man, why don't I say that with complete confidence sometimes, you know? Why don't I say like I'm gonna go pro with complete confidence? And but I always just said, no, F that, man. I believe. And that's how I've thought my entire life. So in a few months here, I'm gonna prove that thought in my head, that first thought I had in my head, like you were right.
Well, and like you said, I mean, having that so many years ago and then doing that, I've had moments like that where I catch myself speechless. And, being at the college football playoff national championship since they expanded to 12, I've been at both of them. And so I got to make history and then do it again. And I just kind of like, I find myself on the field and I'm like, okay, a team won a championship and I'm not on that team, but I feel like I won my own championship. When you were on the field at Syracuse after everything you went through at Michigan and wanting to play quarterback and then them switching you to tight end and you didn't really want to do it at first and you were emotional about it. Like, did you have a moment at Syracuse where you felt like I counted myself in and God and I did something? Like, did you have a goosebumps moment at Syracuse?
Um, I thought like that every single day, but the exact moment would probably be when I scored that touchdown against Clemson, my first touchdown in 2023, just because I was begging the coaches to get me the ball that year. Like I was like, Coach, I was making plays in practice. I was like, Coach, like get me the ball. I promise you I can do things with it. Coach Nuns would tell me like I'm selfish, like I need to just focus on my job uh and then I just remember making that play and I was like I knew it. I knew this. I knew this was always me. And then from there it took off and that was the moment, I think.
You talk about Coach Nuns. He was the quarterback coach, so he could have worked with you. And he was a tight end coach, so he could have worked with you. So, Nunzio Campanile, how much did you get to work with him in his transition from tight end coach to quarterback coach to tight end coach? Like, did you
He
really get to
was
spend a lot of time with him?
Yeah, he was my coach in 2023, my tight end coach. And then he moved to quarterbacks, and then this past season he moved back to tight ends. So me and him are very close.
What can you say about your relationship with Coach Nunzio Campanile? Left Syracuse, he's the offensive coordinator. I got a promotion from UConn to run an entire offense. What can you say to what his tutelage has done for you to prepare you for the NFL?
He's so real, man. Besides the fact that he's a great coach and he knows so much football and he's taught me almost, a lot of stuff that I know right now. Um, he's a great human being and he's so real. He was so transparent with me. Every time I was worried about a situation or I had a question, he just told me straight up what the deal was and how I can get myself out of that situation or how I can keep myself in that situation. So he's just a real dude, authentic dude. He's like an uncle to me. Like that guy, I've had some really bad days at practice, and that guy will just come up to you and he'll just say a joke, and I can cuss on you, right?
I mean, you already have multiple times.
Yeah. He'd be like every single day for like 3 years straight. He'd come up to me in warm-ups and he'd be like, Dan, don't forget, don't be a pussy today. Every every single day for 3 years. So like he would just when I was at my lowest moments, that guy would remind me why I love the game so much. And a lot of people can make the game could ruin the fun in the game for you, but he always brought the fun to football. So I love him for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny to me because you have Italian blood, I have Italian blood, Nuns has Italian blood, and it just seems like that's an Italian thing. Like we can be real, we can be
Mhm.
direct, we can be funny, but we can also affect people, and you can do it all in
Yeah.
one sentence, like
Yeah.
something that Nuns would say.
Exactly. Italians, we got very, very good personalities. Superior personalities, I think.
So when we get back to the outside noise belonging outside, was there ever a time in your life where you let it get to you? Like you just kind of sat in it for a while and maybe you started believing what people were saying? Did you ever have a moment like that?
Hmm. Uh, Maybe like in 2022 when I was a quarterback fighting for a spot during camp and I just was playing terrible. Um, that's probably when I was most down in my life. Um, Kind of like separated myself from people that summer and didn't really talk to my family much, didn't talk to my friends a lot. I was really, really down bad, but then they changed my position and snapped out of it real quick. So I would say that time. Just going to Michigan, that not working out, coming to Syracuse, that was I had high hopes, and then it not working out there, that was the lowest point, I think.
Is the move from quarterback to tight end that was once a tough thing, maybe a negative thing, maybe a thought you didn't want to have. You know, they always say God's plan's better than ours.
Hmm.
So, what once was not your idea, is it now one of the best things that ever happened to you because you're going to be an NFL tight end?
Growing up, I always just thought I was gonna be like the next Tom Brady. Like that's basically it. Like I always in my head I was like I can do it at quarterback. Like I'm gonna be a pro quarterback. I'm gonna invest my entire life into this. And when I was struggling in college a little bit, that that thought crept up like maybe because at Michigan actually, we had Cade McNamara, JJ McCarthy playing, so they saw I was a great athlete. So they actually plugged me in at special teams a little bit. And I think I played like scout team tight end like 2 days or something. And Aiden Hutchinson was lined up across from me. But like they would just pick and plug me places and they wanted to just get me on the field helping out. So obviously the position change idea was always in my head and I always denied it every single day. And I was like, nah, I'm just gonna be a super athletic quarterback that makes it in the NFL. Um, so then it's funny how I thought I'd never accept it. I thought there's no way I'll ever, you know how stubborn we are, Italian. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll never accept this ever, no matter what. And then it's crazy, you one day everything changes and now it's for the better.
Yeah. And I mean, a final note on that, you know, what once was not your idea is now a great idea and a great opportunity for you. What would be your advice to somebody who is struggling with what people think of them, how people see them, how they view them? Because you had to take hold of your life, right? The media is going
Yeah.
to write what they want to write. They can say things about, oh, you're supposed to make it in Michigan, or oh, you're supposed to be a quarterback at Syracuse, you're not a quarterback. And people can kind of treat people like they're not human beings and they're just stories. So, having gone through people talking about you, maybe not always in the most positive light, and maybe people that aren't even educated in the sport itself, what would be your advice to somebody who's going through somebody speaking for them, which I can't stand that people, and I say it to you all the time, I say it to players and coaches all the time. I'm like, I'd rather you guys speak on this subject instead of have somebody speak for you. So what's your advice to somebody out there who is dealing with outside noise?
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like people have been speaking on my life and my career since I was a senior in high school. So it's funny that you say that because it's a little ridiculous, but my advice would be know what you want in life and give everything plus more into that goal and keep a small circle. Keep positive people around you, people that you could share your goals with, like-minded people. You don't need all these friends. You don't need a huge circle. Um, you just need a few. I got, 5 high school friends that I talk to all the time, and they kind of keep me grounded. And you know, I think one time someone said something to me on Twitter, and my friends were in the group chat like, "Dude, you want me to go off on this kid right now? You want me to go off on him?" And I was like, "No, no, do not." So just have a small circle that has your back, and keep your family close.
All comes back to family here on NeapoliDANS with two Italians talking with each other. It is an honor and a privilege, as always, Mr. Villari, to be here with you in NeapoliDANS. You can catch us every Wednesday at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. My guy, you are worth. I mean, you've been traveling, you've been running around. I've been traveling and running around, and you are worth sitting on an airport floor for to make sure we get this thing done.
My man, thank you, brother.
Of
Great
course, my pleasure.
conversation as always.
As always, sir, go out there and keep doing your thing and keep proving yourself right.
I will, man. Get home safe, all right?
You too.
All right.